Alright, good luck, everyone.
So this is Bionic Commando. The goal for this is to beat the first 2 stages of the game. And they are starting out with 2 boxes of health and the potion. So that's not normally something you would start with. Normally you start with no health, you know, beyond just the first hit that kills
why
you.
wasn't that guy there?
And no equipment.
Already things are happening that I've never seen before.
Well, it's Bionic Commando. There's going to be lots of things that surprise you. This is a very inconsistent game. But the goal here in the first level, in the outdoor section, there's 2 parts. So there's an outdoor and an indoor part. The outdoor part, in order to get this door to open, you need to first visit the room at the top of the first tower, talk to the computer, and then exit out of there. And that opens up the door to the second part. And then you go and do this indoor part with paratroopers, because there's paratroopers indoors in this game.
And not outdoors.
Yeah, not outdoors, though. Right, these are indoor paratroopers only. It's an insurance matter, really. But there's that. And after that, you're going to see the cave level, which would normally be in the dark, but these guys are given the flares to start out with, so they'll be using those.
Now, the flares aren't because feasel's nice to us.
Right. It shouldn't make a big difference to these players whether they're using the flares or not. The only downside to the flares actually is that the flares take the place of the potions, so they won't be able to refill their health. In this first level, they can refill their health by pressing the select button, and they can do that once per level. But in the second level, they're not going to have that available. But by then they should have... I set the experience points up, so they should have 1 more box of health by the time the next level comes around. So
yeah,
that should
they just make
compensate.
sure to pick off the guys they come across.
Nope, they don't need to, because you get 10 bullet points, which are your experience points. After...
Oh, there it is, right there.
So yeah, it says bonus times 10. Yeah, so that should put them right over the mark. So now they should be up to 3 boxes of health. The overworld has also been set up so that they're not going to run into any trucks unless they go the wrong way.
Trucks are, of course, the bane of
Yes.
the Bionic Commando speedrunner.
Right,
It
the any
forces you
percent.
into an optional top-down section that, I mean, it's done pretty quickly, but it's still like 15,
23 seconds.
Yeah. So unacceptable for high-level speedruns.
Right.
And there's the mythical... Well, not mythical, named after me. Mythical, because it's a thing that's hard to get. The truck skip.
Yes.
Which, I mean, we could talk about it a little bit. It's not going to come up for these goals, but it's basically completely random whether or not you get a truck or not late into the run.
Right, yeah, it's pretty far into the run. It's maybe about 40% of the way through the run you have to deal with this truck skip, and it's not really something you can control unless you're, you know, doing frame-perfect inputs on the overworld for every one of your movements. You're not going to be able to control it. But essentially when the trucks move in the overworld, when the helicopter moves, I should say, the helicopter is on a 2-frame rule, whereas the trucks will just move immediately. So every time you begin moving your helicopter, there's a 50-50 chance that the game might add an extra frame of delay before your helicopter starts to move, whereas the trucks always move right away. So by the time you get to, like, after 10 times moving your helicopter, you finally get to the part where you come really close to running into a truck, and whether you hit it or not depends on how many of those 1 frames delays have accumulated throughout your run. So it's pretty annoying to speedrun this game, because you've got only like a 37% chance or something like that of getting it.
Yep, and our players don't have to worry about it at all.
Fortunately.
This is the worst boss fight I've ever had.
But they do have to worry about, you know, grapple McTroll pants.
Oh.
Is there a good way to deal with this guy that doesn't involve just letting him grapple you in the face a bunch of times?
Yeah, play any
That's how I
percent.
usually do it, is I get a cycle where he's just grappling me over and over, but...
I mean, you can kill him, take damage, go through him, get to the backside of him, then shoot him.
Yeah. TJ manages to, like, just go right around him.
Yeah, you can
somehow.
avoid him. If you can just shoot that thing fast enough, you can, you know, do
Did
it.
that get submitted?
I shall check.
Yeah, I submitted one
almost
as well.
forgot that that's what I'm doing.
not. Hopefully that won't be my final run anyway. But
right. We've got a BinaryDragon run and an inzult run that both came in a moment ago, so that's what we got so far. Hagspam has a 231 up on his timer. Is that from a run within this match?
No.
Okay.
It just didn't clear.
You can clear it with the C button, I think.
I just haven't bothered.
Wait, I saw Hagspam had the 231. I was worrying a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. But yeah, it looks like BinaryDragon so far with about 4.5 minutes, and inzult comes in just under 3. So the early points on the board.
Yeah, I was just looking to get a run on the board to start. Now we'll actually go for a decent time.
So doors in this game are really hard.
Harder than you'd think, yes. They're, the hitbox from where you can press up is a little specific.
And you can't, like... It seems like you can't press up and any other button.
I think that's true.
So it's harder than it looks to just do something simple like go in a door.
Yep, everything is harder than it looks in this game. Maybe I should explain a little bit about the mechanics too. You can't jump in this game. I mean, obviously that's the gimmick of it, is that you must use your grappling hook because you don't have a jump button. But the nice thing is that the grappling hook is very versatile. There's a lot of things you can do with it, and I think this game was probably more work than the average SGL game to learn. You know, right up there with Donald Land, in that it's much harder to play than it seems. So essentially there's 5 different ways you can grapple with your grappling hook, but the important one is the diagonal grapples. You'll be seeing that the most because that's what you swing with, and swinging is faster than walking, so obviously you're going to be swinging pretty much all the time. There's very little walking in the run if you're doing it properly. You can break out of the grapple anytime you want by pressing down on the D-pad. So since there's only an A and a B button, the way the game handles all the movement tech is it just overloads the D-pad like crazy. The D-pad is just used for everything. And, you know, the timing of when you... Right, and then some, yeah. And the timing of when you press stuff during the grapple affects things too. So it's just really overloaded movement. But yeah, you can press...
I didn't die there.
Down at any time, and that disconnects you from your grappling line. And if you do that in the middle of a swing, the game gives you this little boost of height. It like gives you a short little air jump, basically. And so using that little boost, you're able to kind of simulate a jump, and you're able to, you know, kind of move yourself around and in a way that you can catch ledges that the game designers probably didn't intend you to be able to get to. There's also collision detection, but it's kind of disabled half the time. So while you're swinging, the game it doesn't always check for collision detection. Only certain parts of your swing will the game see if you're going to run into something. So it actually is possible to swing right through solid objects much of the time. Also, with ceilings, you'll notice any of these platforms that have barrels on top of them. See, right here in the upper left, you'll see BinaryDragon's in a place with all these red ledges that have barrels sitting on top. You're not meant to be able to go up through that. But if you swing in such a way that your head gets embedded up into those barrels, and then you try to grapple upwards, the game will just push you right up through it.
In some sense, you end up like grappling the barrel through the girder, and then when you're grappled on the barrel, you can climb up to the top. There's a, climb to the top of the thing you're grappled to mechanic.
Right, exactly, yeah, and that's... I highly recommend watching the tasks for this game, because you get to see all kinds of abuses of the game mechanics and of the collision detection. But essentially in this game, the idea is swing so that the game throws you up into something you shouldn't be able to get into, and then try to grab onto something or press the... I think it's the A button, and that'll cause you to do a little damage boost hop, and that's how you can get through all kinds of different things in this game. let's see, what do they got? They're starting with the normal gun in this goal. It's the default weapon that you start with. The second goal that you'll see for match 3, you'll see another goal of this game, and in that they'll have the rocket launcher. They're playing a little bit later.
Which is
in the game.
amazing.
Yeah, the rocket launcher is incredible. It's really the only gun you need.
It takes the boss fights from like 20 hits down to 3 or 4.
Right. And everything's a one-hit kill within the stages.
Even some of the bosses are one-hit kills with that.
Yeah.
I've seen tanks take 2.
The tanks? Oh, that takes 1 to blow the tank up, and 1 to kill the guy inside it.
No, 2 to kill the tank.
It
itself.
shouldn't.
It's weird. Like, sometimes I've noticed the boss is 3 or 4
Oh,
hits.
well, that's because, yeah, okay, so at the boss, sometimes it'll just ignore one of your shots, and I don't know why that happens, and maybe that's
so
what's
that might be
happening
the
with the tank.
just ignoring one of my shots.
Yeah,
too.
it could be.
2 things real quick. Hagspam. 1, the split timing is when the screen begins to fade out, so your actual time is a little slower than you'd think. And the other is that I don't think you used the flare in level 4.
I did.
You did?
Yeah,
Because
that's
it
what the
didn't show
level was
up.
all lit up.
Was it dark?
It
That
was
might have been
dark
my
in
old
the
one.
video.
It's probably my old video that you're watching.
Whoops.
Huh.
I forgot to swing.
That was like my first submitted video earlier in the week, yesterday.
Oh, okay, that's why the number's higher, because it was... Okay.
Shoot.
I always just go for the biggest number, but... Okay. Okay.
I'm just not getting a run together right now.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of level 1 here.
That,
For me,
that
the-
fall down that shaft is really hard to get
It
the
is. I understand.
If someone who has more experience with this game could tell us exactly how many frames we actually have, but I think it's 1 or 2.
Shit. For me, the hardest part of this goal is the the inside the base in level 1.
Mm-hmm. I think so. That and that with the teleporters I mean the paratroopers, the paratroopers and the falling down that shaft, that elevator shaft is tricky. There we go. What you saw Hagspam do it a moment ago. It is a tough little window to hit.
But taking the elevator down is really slow.
Yeah.
It's like 15 seconds or
Yeah,
something.
you don't want to use elevators in this game anywhere, if you can avoid it.
Okay, times should be accurate.
Okay.
Oh wow, that was a cool clip I got, and then I just ruined it.
So those are updated times. Inzult is in the lead with a 2:55.39. Hagspam
Wow,
just 10
congratulations.
seconds. Yeah, I know. Hagspam 10 seconds behind him at 3:05.
Woot woot.
And here you were saying you'd be happy to post a time at all, Insult.
I don't know what happened there.
I was watching him practice when he setting up the stream earlier, and I was like, "You're doing pretty good." like I was expecting to see some stuff, and no, he was showing me quite different stuff going on, and I was like, I think he's exaggerating a little bit. Sure enough.
He's just not as good as he wants to be.
That might be it
Well,
too.
that's true for all of us.
Shit.
You're not a
That's
speedrunner
speedrunner's
if
minigame.
you're good enough for yourself. That's how it works, right? You can never be happy with anything you do.
This was a world record. This run sucks.
Oopsie. I guess I'll keep going, whatever.
So the way PJ does the first level is there's this pretty tricky move where you cancel your swing off of the light thing. What is that round fixture?
It looks, I think it's a light.
think.
A light,
it's a
yeah. So
spotlight or something.
you cancel your swing off of that, and you swing underneath the red beam and get a really well-timed grapple past the middle of that beam, which gets you far enough to latch onto the thing above the guy who's standing there, and you have no idea what I'm talking about because these are words and there's no visuals to go along with them. But it's really hard. I was doing it for like a half hour, maybe more, and I still never. I wouldn't say I got it consistent. So you would have to put in a lot of effort to do some of the stuff that PJ does in his run. So all of the players kind of had to decide, based off of how much time they have to learn things, how quick do they want to try to go, measure their consistency versus speed. And so I think every player is going to come up with their own route that makes their own trade-offs.
I tried that thing that you were describing where you swing underneath, once or twice, and that was enough for me to know that I was not going to be doing that.
Yeah, I didn't get anywhere close on my first or second try, but, my 10th or 15th, I was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I see how you get this now.
No.
Yeah, but it is cool to have a game where it's not just
flare.
copying copying
That's gonna cost time.
some other run.
Yeah, we always try to give players things that aren't completely routed out yet. We like to give players the task to do a bit of routing themselves, because we consider routing to be an important part of speedrunning, so...
Yeah, so for a game like this where the route is just naturally something that's going to take you longer than a week to master, it's nice because it's a sort of a trade-off between having no information to go by it's sort of middle ground between having nothing to go by and, having exactly what you're supposed to do spelled out for you.
Feasel, your insistence on the flare has cost me like 5 seconds.
Oh, because you have to equip it in the menu?
No, I accidentally mashed past it and then had to exit out of the menu.
Oops.
And again. It was painful.
Oh man, a good run burnt.
Yeah.
Well, and you know that you can press A-B start, right, to exit out of a level if you need to.
No.
Well, that's not how I wanted to do that.
Wow, that was an
but okay.
amazing level 4 boss battle.
Look at that, he didn't, just until the end he didn't hit you at all.
I don't even know how that happened.
Well, aren't you glad that you got that in a run that messed up the menuing, huh?
Aren't I? Yes.
I'll just replicate it.
Right. Impossible to replicate strats? Awesome. Yeah, so one of the hardest moves, I think, to work with is the horizontal grapple. So grappling to something from the side, and then retracting your line so that it pulls you off the edge, which turns it into a diagonal swing. There's a few places in the run where it can actually be used, but I always found the timing of those swings to be the hardest. So another thing about the swinging is it is faster than walking, but it's interesting because the different parts of your swing go at different speeds. The fastest part of your swing is sort of the middle of it when you're moving mostly horizontally, and then the last part of it where you kind of bounce up in the air a bit, or you curve up in the air a bit, is actually not so fast. So you see the fastest movement that you'll see in the TAS, especially if it's just walking down a corridor, it'll be like half a swing. You'll like swing and get just past halfway, and then cancel out of the swing and grapple again. That's actually the fastest way to move. Oh, getting bounced up into the ceiling.
And then killed by a paratrooper who's coming down through it.
Right, paratroopers can go through ceilings, but you can't. So there.
Well, you can a little bit.
Yeah,
you can go up into it far enough that you stop
it.
moving horizontally, and then have to fall down more before you can start moving horizontally again. That's kind
exactly.
of
just enough to kill your momentum.
Yeah.
One fun thing about this game is if you jump and land, well, not jump, if you walk off an edge and land on the head of an enemy, you will bounce off of it and take no damage.
Yeah, and the enemy makes a little ooh kind of pose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can also kick them too. If you swing through the enemy, you'll kick them. And one of the items that you can pick up, you won't have it in either of these goals, but one of the items you can pick up is the spike boots. And, you know, that hurts the enemies. You can land on their head and it damages them, or you can swing through them and it damages them. It's pretty neat.
Well, that was a bad shaft.
Got shafted.
You got chafed in the shaft.
Just talking about the
Got it.
shaft.
You gotta know how to handle the shaft.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. No one opted to follow up on that one. That's okay. That's
We'll leave that one alone.
That's maybe for the best. Yeah.
I don't even know what I was doing.
Ooh. Ooh, 2 people dying at the end of the level 1. So, let's see, what other fun facts about this game? You're playing as... I can't remember, is his name Rad?
Rad Spencer.
It's Rad Spencer.
Look at his hair. How could he
It's
be
pretty
anyone other than
rad. He's got pretty rad hair. So this is Rad Spencer, the Bionic Commando. And your mission is to rescue Super Joe. Well, one of your missions. It starts out as to rescue Super Joe. And Super Joe, which I just found this out not too long ago, is the main character in Commando. So this Bionic Commando is sort of giving a nod to original Commando, not just in its overhead scenes, but in its choice of character. So there you go. You're going after Super Joe, who was sent in to stop the revival of Master D. And that becomes your quest. Once you rescue Super Joe, he tells you the whole story.
Yeah, but see, everyone knows that he completely blows himself up in Commando. Like level 4, he runs into the building, he disappears, and then the building is on fire.
Doesn't a
I can't
helicopter
interpret
come
it
by?
any other way. Well, I mean,
What's the helicopter there for?
I don't think you see him get on it. But you see him jump off of it later.
Oh, interesting. Super Joe is the protagonist in Arcade Bionic Commando. Huh. Cool.
Oh, that's even more confusing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just regular Joe in Commando. Shit.
Regular Joe.
Right.
Well, I assume his first name is regular before he becomes Super Joe.
Just a regular Joe. Alright, well, we got 7 minutes left on the clock. 7 minutes left in this match. So these players are trying to get as good a run they can before that timer runs out. What happens when the timer runs out is it'll be sudden death mode. We won't force the players to stop, but they'll be unable to reset anymore once the timer hits 0. So whatever run they're stuck with at that time, it will be their last run. I'm going to give them a warning just before that happens to give them a chance to restart if they wanted to try to start one more run before that occurs.
No.
Shit.
That'll work.
So definitely level 1 is the tricky part of this goal. I noticed that pretty much anytime anyone gets to level 2, or actually it's not called level 2, it's level
Area 4.
4, right? Yeah, area 4. They jump way around in this game. Yeah, area 4. Anytime anyone gets to area 4, they seem to do just fine with it. I don't think there's much to it, really.
Yeah, Area 4 is super easy unless you screw up the swings over the spikes.
Yeah.
And level 1, I mean, it's not even hard. There's just a lot of tricks that if you don't get them, you're going really, really slow. And so you just have to restart.
Yeah, the backup strats are all like, well, take
Super
5
slow.
seconds to completely reorient yourself
Mhm.
and then try again.
Yeah.
Cool. I like the way Insult got up on that ledge there. That was cool.
The other goal, well, level 3, you can waste so much time if you fall in the wrong spot. But
You get flushed.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
You get flushed with the sewer slimes.
But other than that, just as kind of more of a general rule, it's the backup strats are a little more forgiving, so you can have something that's not perfect and still have a run.
Wow, we're seeing very different routes from the players in these levels.
Mm-hmm.
In
Really?
the first
I
level,
figured
yeah.
we would.
Completely different.
Which part?
All of it. Yeah. Indoor and the outdoor part, very different.
Do you want to describe some of the differences for those who can't see?
No, there's just too many of them to describe.
Okay, fair enough.
It's nothing I don't think you'll be able to, like, incorporate all of a sudden.
Oh no, I wasn't expecting
Yeah,
that.
and it's not like something drastic that no one thought of. It's just like different, different choices.
Yeah, often it's
Rely-
probably not even any difference in speed. It's just
Yeah,
different.
maybe not. It's probably pretty close.
Oh, boy.
We.
Let's just say I'm using all the good routes. Oops. Shh. I don't want to be in the ceiling like that. Dang.
Yeah, you lose time when you go up into the ceiling.
The worst is when you're in the communication room and you accidentally hold right after you're done with the communication.
Oh, to walk the wrong way?
Well,
Or you grapple.
you don't just start walking the wrong way. The best part is you walk the wrong way, and then when you correct yourself, you walk back in front of the communication thing,
And you have to talk to it
which
again.
activates again.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Okay, it's like 8 seconds
kind of
into
the
the run?
ultimate. one frame of wrong input, and it's like an extra 8 seconds of cutscene that you have to sit through.
So some of these communication rooms, the computer will send out enemies at you. I don't remember if either of the communication rooms in this do it, but if you choose the wrong item, there's like communicate and wiretapping are your two options, and if you choose the wrong one, it'll send a bunch of enemies out that just come out of the walls and start attacking you.
Dang.
Yeah, so I was wondering if we might see that today, but I can't remember if either of these computers do it.
I know the one in the second part of the first level. If you select wiretapping, you get a hint about where the flare is. You don't get surprise soldiers.
Ah, okay. Yeah, the idea is communicate is supposed to be what you use to like open doors and stuff, and then wiretapping, you're like tapping into the enemy's communications to find out secrets, like where the
Good.
flares are hidden.
Yeah, because otherwise you're like, well, I need some obscure thing to get through this wall, and it could be in any one of these 20 numbered areas.
Yeah, and
I'm
if you
really
don't,
upset that the boss people have exactly 2 screens of text, but the second screen is only 1 word.
right?
Trying to run this fast,
Paratrooper.
that just drives me nuts.
Sure, another reason the Japanese version is faster, but yeah.
It's always just 1 word. It's like, if you're going to waste my time, say something.
The Japanese version is also 2,000% more racy,
Yeah.
because these are no longer the bads resurrecting Master D. It's just straight up Nazis resurrecting Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Hitler
Yeah.
no Fukatsu.
Top secret. But yeah, they redid a lot of the graphics. Anytime you see an eagle on one of these flags or anywhere, that wasn't an eagle in the Japanese version.
Yep, swastika.
Right. So this game got massively censored, except they still left Hitler in the game, because I guess they
Yeah.
figured that maybe, blowing his face up was, politically correct enough that they
would
could do
have
that.
to redraw every frame.
No,
of
no,
that
no.
horrible
That wasn't
glory,
Hitler. That was Charlie Chaplin.
I guess.
All right, it was Charlie Chaplin. That's right. You blow up Charlie Chaplin's head.
I wonder, like, if anyone ever went to like dress up as Charlie Chaplin for Halloween.
I'm
but
sure it's happened.
a younger kid was like,
Damn it.
I don't know who Charlie Chaplin is. I'm 5,
Right.
but I know who Hitler is, and I see that mustache.
Yeah. I'm sure that's happened.
Hey, fun fact: you can use your potion while falling.
Sure, you can use it pretty much any time unless you're taking damage. Right?
Whoa, how'd I get up there?
Or taking damage.
Whoa!
Oh, I wasn't watching.
Okay, wait. So time is now. Yeah, I was gonna say time is expired. So now's your last chance to reset. Decide if you want to do that. Okay.
Easy decision for me.
All right. So now we are in sudden death mode from here on out.
Nope, that's it.
Oh, did you die right after sudden death mode?
No, I didn't die, but I just wasted like 15 seconds.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that was kind of a comedy of errors going on right there. Just fresh reset, and then just, whoop, too far to the right, too far to the left.
Whoops.
I think that was the worst 15 seconds at the beginning of level 1 I've had all
Well,
40.
that's done.
Well, there he goes.
What? Oh, Hagspam just lost it. So looks like Insult gets his chance to improve his PB time.
Yep, and he might add insult to injury if he completes
Yeah.
this run. It's a better time. Oh.
That's a new one that I've never heard before.
No,
so
never.
thank you for.
Coming up with something
well.
fully original like that. Oh.
It was good, but then it wasn't.
Yeah, the second
Well,
time.
that's it for that then. Okay, cool. Well, match 1, you see the results up there on your screen. Insult wins this with a 2:55.39, which he got on his first run, like a couple minutes in, and it just stood the rest of the time.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Yeah.
That is...
You can't see me because my webcam is off, but I'm flexing right now.
Someone in chat was like sub to Caleb or whatever will help you out.
Oh, cool.
Is he the one with the arms, the flexing arms? Someone has them.
Caleb has flexing arms, yes, in real life
Yes.
and in
yeah,
chat.
Yes, in real life. I mean, yeah.
So yeah, there we go. Insult wins this with a 2:55. Hagspam 3:04, very close.
Yep, a strong first showing.
Yes, Bionic Commando, much harder game than it looks.
Alright, so...
And it does look pretty hard, so.
Do you want to explain to us what this picture we're seeing on the TV is?
Those are the scooter goblins,
Yeah,
and they're taking your girlfriend away.
Right. The point of it's all to rescue your girlfriend. I think this whole plot of this game is rescue your girlfriend, and that's her being abducted, I guess.
Abducted to Playland?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's where their hideout is. They'll never suspect our hideout in Playland.
Alright, so we're switching over to Rockin' Cats now. Let me get this up on the screen.
For more grapple action?
More grappling action, so we have a grappling theme here. Rockin' Cats. This goal is going to be to beat Channel 3, or just the first 3 areas of Channel 3.
Channel 4.
I think when I described this game,
It was 3.
It's 3.
3 errors. When I described this game for the main goal for episode 25, I think I said this game would probably be like remembered as a classic if it wasn't for Bionic Commando's grappling hook.
I was wrong,
guys
it's
grab
Channel
that?
4.
Oh, Channel 4.
My bad.
It's 3 areas of
3 areas of Channel 4, not 4 areas of Channel 3.
Yep. Because the grappling mechanics in this are a lot of fun and somewhat intuitive.
Speak for
A
yourself.
little hard to be
Speak for
precise
yourself
with.
again.
Somewhat intuitive.
Very well.
I'll be-
Speaking for myself.
I'll be right back in just like 1 second.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, there's tons of cool ways you can use this grappling hook. You basically can let go at any of the 8 compass points to get a different direction of flip, and you can also punch things and get rebounded off of them. So there's lots of punching the ground to get a jump, a boost upwards, and punching walls on, like turn around, punch the wall, and get boosted forwards. Lots of fun stuff, especially in the vertical stages. You can boost diagonally upwards off of walls, and it's pretty darn cool, and it works out. Like it's not as unwieldy as you'd think.
Speak for yourself.
I am. I'm speaking for the average competent video game. No, sorry.
Oh,
Ooh.
ouch.
All right.
Ouch. Sorry.
Okay. Insult is back. You want to kick this thing off? Everybody ready to do this?
380.
No,
Yay!
but,
No.
you know.
Ready enough. Ready as you're gonna get. Okay, I'll count you guys in. 3, 2, 1, go.